All right, Trevor, I want to show you a video of what we got going on with Buck, where we're getting started with him, kind of how he's doing with the process. Sit! Kind of give you my little formal evaluation, I guess. Buck has definitely seen quite a bit of this. You'll see today, you're going to see him do some things good. More than likely, you'll see him do some things poorly. But most importantly, what I'm going to show you is when he does something right, we're good, but when he does something poorly, how we correct it. Because that's really what matters here. What it looks like is he's not had that kind of finished off and then transition into actually retrieving. He's seen the force fetch process. This dog has probably been on a bench and been force fetched to pick it up off a bench and walk across the bench and pick it up. I think that, to me, it looks like that's where the process stopped. So what I'm doing is I'm taking him outside, and we're going to start stretching him out so that he'll actually go pick it up, bring it up, pick it up, bring it back, pick it up, bring it back every single time. He just needs reps. He just needs to see this over and over and over. But all in all, I think he's a pretty nice dog. I think he's going to be fine. I think he'll make somebody a fine gun dog. You know, in terms of being a hunt test dog, you know, I don't know. It's way too early to see if somebody wanted to turn him into that. I don't know, but he certainly makes somebody a fine gun dog. So usually the force fetch process, we spend 2, 3, sometimes 4 weeks just getting the dog to take the stick and carry it. Buck does this already, because if we just put this up here, fetch, he'll carry, sit, heel. Yeah, he'll come back, come into the heel position, sit, give, and hand it to you. So he's clearly had that. That's a lot of times, that's about a month's work right there, just picking up the stick and come back here. Sit. His obedience is a little sloppy, which is not uncommon. I mean, that's pretty typical. You know, he'll heel really well, and then he'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna go off on my own, and then I give him a good correction. He's like, okay, I guess I'm not doing that. But all in all, like, I think he's gonna be fine. So let me show you the next steps of what he's working on. So after we get him to pick it up, we want him to pick it up off the ground. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'll put the stick in front of him. I'm going to say, Buck, fetch. Good. Heel. Here. Heel. Sit. Give. Now, there I didn't even pinch his ear. My hand was only on his ear. Buck is definitely anticipating the pressure, which is good. We want him to do that. Sit. What we really want him to do is we want him to do the task before I have to apply the pressure. We want him to do the task before we apply the pressure. That's the goal. Now, if he doesn't do it the first, like right away, then the pressure comes. So what we're trying to do is give him an opportunity to beat it, and that way he'll respond even faster, and it's more snappy, and it looks a lot more polished. Let me show you what I mean. So he'll pick it up off the ground there in front of us. If I toss it out here in front of us like this, a couple yards away, we'll walk over here, heel, Buck, fetch. And he didn't pick it up, right? Okay, so how do we correct that, right? So what we're gonna do is this time, I'm gonna walk over here, Buck, fetch. As soon as he doesn't grab it, we immediately grab the ear, pinch, and apply pressure, fetch, heel, sit, give, and we get the response. So we use that pressure to make him do it. Don't give him an opportunity to continue to fail. We want him to pick it up when we said to pick it up. The quicker you can do that, like if I know, right there, I knew he wasn't gonna pick it up when I tossed it over here, because that's kind of the point we're on right now. If I were doing this for real in training instead of just kind of explaining this, what I would do, heel, is I would walk over there with my hand on his leash and probably holding his ear. So now I'm not applying any pressure, but he knows, yeah, he's about to start pinching on my ear, I better do this. So now I'm gonna walk him over there and say fetch. If he does not pick it up, I'm going to immediately squeeze his ear and repeat the fetch command, because he knows what fetch means. Buck, heel, Buck, fetch, good, heel, sit, give. Oh, that was my bad, sorry dude. My stick fell apart. I think of it kind of like your kids, right? Like if your kid is looking at you like, yeah, you told me to do something, but I don't think you're actually going to follow through and make me do it. They might be like, well, I don't know if I want to do that. But if you're like standing right on top of them and you're like, you better do it, then they're like, yeah, I better do it. So when dogs understand follow through, are you going to follow through with forcing me to do this? Hence the name Force Fetch. So that's what we're trying to get him to do. I'll show you a couple more reps to kind of wrap up here. Heel. Fetch. Good. Sit. Give. Good boy. That time I only had my hand on his collar, not even on his ear. Good. Heel. Fetch. Good. Heel. Sit. Give. Good boy. Good. Heel. Fetch. Fetch. Heel. Sit. Give. Good boy. Good. Heel. Fetch. Fetch. Heel. Sit. Give. Okay, so that's kind of what we want it to look like. We like to do a nice, quick, lots of reps. Keep it a little bit upbeat. Heel. Sit. The other thing is, you know, Buck's been pretty happy through all of this. No cowering, no tail tucking, no sunken shoulders. That's really, really good. That means he handles the pressure fine. He's doing fine. He's happy. He just needs more practice with it. You also saw in there he gave me a couple refusals. No big deal. When the dog refuses, we simply repeat the command, apply the pressure, pick up the stick. So all in all, we're making progress and we're working as fast as we can. Buck's doing fine. I think he's going to be a nice dog. I hope in a few weeks we'll have him, you know, picking up real birds, doing some nice marks. But anyways, he's trucking right along.